Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Yes. Oh, my God. Welcome in here, man. Oh, my gosh. It's Wednesday. I'll be damned. How you boys doing? Thank you for watching and listening and downloading and whatever it is you do to consume shows these days in 2K and 23. We are your friends and neighbors at Mike Taylor Live, the preeminent podcast in all of San Antonio, Texas. And if anybody wants to tell me otherwise, then they're full of shiznit. And here we go. It is Wednesday, and while we have a number of proud sponsors and partners, Wednesday is dedicated to the greatness that is, mostly in part. Now, we've got others that help bring this show to you, but Wednesdays we lead with the law office of Orlando Kell. The official lawyer of this show is Orlando Kell, a family lawman, is what he specializes in, although he does just about everything else. He specializes in helping fathers in divorce situations, whether it is pre-divorce, during the process, or even after the divorce is over. If you have the need to change your decree, most times you're going to need a lawyer, especially if your ex-old lady is uncooperative. And that's where Orlando comes in. Hit him up and mention us. He is the official lawyer of us now these days, Orlando Kell, and he brings people I want to punch. And I probably have a few today that we'll get into, but I want to lead off with something that happened with us. We were eating dinner on Sunday. We had lunch on Sunday before the Cowboys game at Jim's, and I don't want to say which Jim's it was, because they didn't do nothing. They were victimized. So Nina and I sat there at the bar at Jim's, although they don't have booze, but most gyms have a bar you can sit at. We don't have to wait to sit down at a booth or a table. You can just walk up to the counter and start eating, which I prefer to do. I want to punch the son of a bitch that was stealing the waitstaff's tips at the gyms on Sunday. Shame on you, man. You shouldn't be stealing people's tips anyway. He's walking around picking cash up off the table after somebody had gone in there to eat, and a couple people had left cash tips, and some asshole was walking around the restaurant picking it up and then bailed. And we know that because we heard the waiters were all talking about it, and they were very upset, man. You know, it is one thing to steal somebody's tip money, which is one of the sorriest, shittiest things you can do. Because we're talking like $4, $5, $6 in cash at gyms. It ain't like there's $150 tabs at gyms all day long. These are $20 breakfasts at tops. That's for two people. And so if you're going to leave a cash tip, it's probably $5 or less. You're going to walk around stealing this fucking money out of people's pockets that work at gyms? It would be one thing if you're stealing tips at like Bob's Steak and Chop House, or you're stealing some hoity-toity restaurant at the top of one of our towers downtown.
No, it's not one thing. It's the same.
I know.
Tips are tips.
But the thing is, dude, these are not rich folks waiting the tables at gyms. And in a lot of cases, these are middle-aged women in there that probably really need $5 means a shit ton to them, you know?
I had an entire tip jar stolen from me when I was working at a car wash back in the day.
Damn.
Yeah. There's a long story to this, but a former Spurs son was arrested for it the next day.
Wait, a former Spurs player's son stole the tip jar at a car wash you were working at?
Yeah.
His dad's a millionaire, and he's ripping off tips out of guys
I don't know
cleaning fucking cars.
I don't know if his dad was a millionaire. This is like early 80s Spurs.
Okay, but he was richer than me and you.
He was driving a brand new black Tahoe, and so he pulled up. I'm wiping down cars, and we have a tip jar right there. Yeah. Just, people can throw tips in.
When was this?
Dude, I was like 25.
Okay, so this Spur had already retired.
Oh, yeah, long before I was born.
But the son's living here. Who are we talking?
I don't want to.
Rivers?
No.
Malik Rose.
No, older.
Surely
way
not
older.
David Ross. Oh, older.
Way older, yeah.
Not George Gervin.
No. Around that time, though, yeah, of his playing days.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, I don't want to say the name because I know the kid now. He's actually married to one of my friends.
Wait a minute.
It's a whole crazy situation. But anyway, he stole the tip jar while he pulled up in his Tahoe, grabbed it, and took off. It was like $60, right? You know, I'm working hard on a Saturday, scrubbing cars. And so I call the cops. I got the license plate, blah, 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 blah. The very next day, I pull up to work at like 7 a.m., and there's a black Tahoe vacuuming out his car at the car wash with the exact same plates.
What a nervy bastard.
Yeah, so I rolled up in. He looked right at me. I walked into the office and called the non-emergency number. Cops hemmed him up 5 minutes later.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then he goes to jail.
Oh, yeah.
Now he has a record over 60 fucking bucks.
Nah, I don't know if they charged him because I didn't press charges because his mom actually came up there. They called his mom. He was a juvenile at the time. He was in high school.
Dang,
and she came up there and gave us like $200 to not press charges.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and that's the problem. That tells me a lot about this guy's parents.
Oh, I took the money and ran.
I get
Obviously,
it, but
I was
still,
young
let's just.
and hungry
Mom
for
was just
money.
going. What kind of a lesson is that? I'd let the fucker deal with the consequences. No shit.
So how ironic is this? He's now married to one of my friends from high school.
Okay.
And they've got kids and stuff. And I see him around at like gatherings and things.
Is he a decent guy?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean,
you ever talked to him about what happened?
no, I don't know if he knows that I was the
amazing.
guy there that did it. So, or that had him hemmed up by the cops. But yeah.
And of course, mom shows up, gives y'all money, and great lesson for the guy. Good Lord.
Yeah. Let's just say the initials are AR for the Spurs. That's all I'll say.
AR.
Yeah.
Okay, someone's going to get it.
Might be a junior in there somewhere.
No, Mike, it's not Kobe Dietrich. By the way, jump in here with a chat. Who do y'all want to punch today and why? Presented by the law office of Orlando Kell. That's what we're doing today.
So can I just do a retroactive punch to when I was 25 years old?
Of course you can.
And punch this kid
Yeah.
and anyone else who steals tips? Because that's not cool.
No, it's bullshit. Big Dog Robinson kid?
Glenn? Is that Glenn Robinson? No. It's
Was there a big dog or a Cadillac
You might
or
have the right last name.
a Ford Bronco that played
But
for the Spurs?
It wasn't a David, and it wasn't a Glenn or a big dog. Or I don't know his nickname, but
It wasn't Doc Rivers.
no.
Okay, it was AR. Okay, well, whatever. They'll get it in a minute. Alvin Robertson. That's
There
it.
you go.
Yeah,
Ding,
yeah,
ding,
yeah,
ding.
Of course. Yeah. And by the way, Mike Cheque, we don't have Doc Garrett on Wednesdays anymore. We haven't since June. He has a question for Doc Garrett.
I got questions for Doc as well.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I can call him on the phone. We could
Yeah.
get him. We could book him in a week or two. We haven't had him on in a long time. Question for Doc Garrett: how do you treat Achilles tendonitis? Well, that's easy peasy for Doc Garrett. It's a layup. Got pain, soreness that runs from the heel of my left foot all the way up to my sphincter. That just proves that Mike doesn't watch this whole show on Wednesdays, because if he watched the whole show, he would know that we haven't had Doc Garrett on this show since June. I'm sure Doc Garrett still does his segment with Uncle Andy over on the Ticket on maybe Wednesdays or whatever.
Yeah, and I believe he has a segment on Ass Town on one of their shows as well.
Still on with those guys.
Yeah, for
with
sure,
Rudy
yeah.
and Rob in the morning. Yeah, for sure. But no, he ain't on with us. And I know what you said earlier, not because it's gyms. No one should be stealing tips from anybody. And I agree with that for sure. But again, you know, some 22-year-old kid waiting tables at a 5-star Michelin restaurant over some little viejita who's just busting her ass and probably on, assistance, busting her ass, waiting, serving up eggs and hash browns at the gyms. That's really awful. And some asshole decides he's going to walk around stealing that kind of cash. I mean, that's just sorry-ass shit. I don't care what kind of desperate life you have where you decided to steal tip money from gyms. What
time
were
you at this gym?
Sunday afternoon,
Oh,
12:30, something like that.
I don't ever think I've been in a gyms before midnight, but I know they're not open. They're not open late anymore. They used to be
really?
24.
Good.
They all close at like 10 now.
And probably because people were causing mayhem overnight in there. Like,
Oh yeah,
drunks like you.
dude. The gyms on 410 and Broadway. I can tell you some stories.
I'm sure you can. All right, so there it is. Those are 2 punches today. You have anybody today you need to punch recently? Or just a throwback punch of Alvin Robertson's kid?
Sorry, Ashley.
You boys get in here with a punch, man. Jump on the chat. You can shoot me a tweet. Jump on the Facebook page. The easiest way to get a hold of me during the show is to jump onto the chat. So pull up the YouTube page and watch our shows and jump into the chat. If you give us a tip, if you super chat us, and you can't steal our tips because it's all digital. But if you want to give us one for our labor and our hard, laborious work, jump on with a super chat. You can also tip us on buymeacoffee.com/Mike Taylor Live, or just make it easy on yourself and tip on the YouTube page as we go. All right, gosh, a lot of y'all are punching various members of the Spurs today, current members. So last night we have no Keldon Johnson, no Trey Jones. I get it, that's fine. And you're going to suffer when you don't have your starting wingman and your starting point guard. And this thing suffered. They go into Oklahoma City last night, and they just get their asses handed to them by the Thunder. Once again, the Spurs are non-competitive. I don't recall any season ever, even last year. Maybe somebody can point it out. Granted, I didn't watch all the games last year. I quasi-kept up with the scores last year and the storylines, of course, but it wasn't like I was watching the Spurs every night last year. Did we have this many games in such a short amount of time in which they were just completely non-competitive? I don't mean just losing. I mean just non-competitive. Not fielding a team worthy of an NBA game. Because I've seen that way too damn much this year. I've seen more blowout losses already, embarrassing nights where you were not competitive, than in any of the previous 16 seasons I've watched the Spurs on a nightly basis. They get their asses handed to them last night in Oklahoma. This is one of those play-in group stage games for the tournament they're having. But these count toward the regular season record. This in-season tournament, it's not separate from the regular season. This is another loss into the column. They get beat last night in Oklahoma City, 123-87. They were tough in the first quarter. It was a back-and-forth game. And then in the start of the second quarter, they just quit playing.
That was a disgraceful
Just stop playing. And again, I don't mind losing. They're not that good. It's a process. They got Wemby, and that doesn't mean they're going to go win 60 games. I get that. But I am patiently impatient. Here's what I'm not. I'm patient, and I understand that they're not going to win a whole lot of games. They're not going to go to the finals. But I am not patient when it comes to these blowout losses. This is bullshit. This thing now has lost 6 games in a row, and they've only been competitive in one of them. The Minnesota game last Friday night, they were competitive and played all the way to the end of the game. The other 5 losses in this 6-game skid, they have fielded a team that's not worthy of an NBA game. They're fielding the fucking Austin Spurs out there, and that ain't cool. That's not good. That is not good. Punch the San Antonio Spurs. This is not good at all. They give up 19 steals last night. 19 steals. Oklahoma had 19 steals. When you let your opposition steal the ball from you 19 times in one game, you don't care. You're not out there competing. You're half-assing. And I don't understand that. These guys say they were all rejuvenated. They were all fired up. And I know you had 2 guys out of the lineup, but that doesn't matter. The guys that played were non-competitive too. And the regulars, like Victor Wembanyama, were also non-competitive in the last 3 quarters of the game. You are half-assing when you give up 19 steals to the opponent. They got outscored 31-2 on fast break points. So you give up 19 steals, you get outscored 2-31 in fast break points. You didn't come ready to play. You didn't give a shit. And that ain't cool. That's not acceptable. I don't mind losing. It got nothing to do with losing. You didn't give a shit. You half-assed last night, and that's BS. A measly 8 points last night for Wemby, which is a career low. Granted, he's only been in the league 3 weeks, but it's still a career low. It's his first single-digit game. He was non-competitive. And this whole Wemby versus Chet Holmgren narrative is an ass whip. Let's stop with that. They don't want it. They don't care about it. It's media-driven. It's media sensationalism. It's stupid. There is no Wemby versus Chet rivalry. Not yet, anyway. Both teams, the Oklahoma's pretty good. San Antonio's terrible. Wemby just getting started, and Chet Holmgren needs to prove he can get through a month of the season. After missing the entire year last year, which was supposed to be his rookie year, but he blew out his big old foot in Summer League. Look, I know it's a process, man, I do. But you cannot let this non-competitiveness continue. It was so bad last night. Now, this is a TNT game. The Spurs were on national television, 19 times? These networks are going to start regretting the decision to schedule the Spurs to national television. This was a TNT game last night, and Show, it was so bad TNT went to a different game.
They cut away. I saw that. I was like,
that's embarrassing.
Did they just cut away?
You don't ever see that.
Not only did they cut away, they did it around the league. They didn't just cut away to a different game. They went to every other game and then came back to the Spurs.
They were talking about the Draymond Green fight last night before the game was even over. It's like, so they needed fodder because the Spurs failed to show. It's embarrassing. You got that Greg Popovich in there. Pop seemed pissed. That'd be nice. It'd be great to see him not be grandpa and be a disciplinarian. Go ahead. I'm sorry, LG. This is Pop last night. He's basically saying what I'm saying here this morning. Go ahead.
I realize it's a young team, but there has to be two things have to happen. At one point, you have to get tired of getting your ass kicked. And secondly, you have to understand that it's a 48-minute game. We played 22 good minutes in the first half. The last 2 minutes of the first half, we turned it over 3 times and executed nothing. And I don't know if that's taking things for granted. We had other games we played well for all 48. So that inconsistency is bothersome and disappointing, but it's got to be figured out. And part of that is being physical and competing your ass off for 48, and we're not doing that consistently.
Yeah, this is not about, they're better than we are. They have more good players. This is not about we're young, and this has nothing to do with skill. The Spurs are not going to win 60 games because they're not as good talent-wise yet, but that's not why they're losing. They're losing because they're not competing. They are mailing in games, and that's bullshit, and I don't understand that. This isn't the Clippers where everyone's 38 and they're a bunch of selfish bastards and no one cares, and like that scene up there now with James Harden. This is young kids who said in the summer they were reinvigorated. Everybody's all fired up because Victor Wembanyama's there. There was just a buzz in the building, and you go out here and you're laying turds every other game. For the last 2 weeks, it's been every night. They've now lost 6 in a row, as I said, with the exception of the Minnesota game. They have been non-competitive. And that counts last Sunday when they were up 25 or whatever it was against Toronto and blew the lead. It really was there. That's where this crap started. They won the 2 games in a row at Phoenix, which looking back on that, it's a miracle they were able to do that. And then they get up 25 on the Raptors that Sunday afternoon, and they blow the lead in the second half, go to overtime, and get run off the floor by the Raptors in the overtime. And they have competed once since the Minnesota game. They went balls to the wall and went all the way to the end and were competitive and lost a hard-fought game. I get that you're going to lose. At the end of the day, it's just another loss, and a loss is a loss, and they don't count twice. But boy, it's worrisome, and it's a beating, and I'm angry because they should not be non-competitive. You're not this bad. The skill difference between you and everybody else around the league is not this bad. And if Pop doesn't like it, then he needs to do something about it. This coddling and all this crap we've seen by Pop the last couple of years. I want some nasty Greg Popovich. I've said that a couple of times over the last couple of years.
I want some nasty.
I want some from him. I want some benching or something. I want someone to get dog cussed during a game.
Fix this shit, bitch.
I mean, this is above pale. This non-competitiveness. All right, that's it. I mentioned the fight last night. So some dude with the Warriors gets into it to some dude with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert, Wemby's countryman, comes over to try to break up the fight, and Draymond Green decides to put Gobert in a headlock. Do you have this, LG? I took this video. There's no music, so we should be fine. This is a little scrap that happens in the NBA, and watch Draymond's overreaction on this thing here with Rudy Gobert.
Clay and McDaniels going out of here.
There's Gobert.
Gobert
Look at Draymond.
And Draymond's like, no. Yeah, it's chill out. And then Draymond, he headlocked Gobert there. So, yeah, they try to Clay and McDaniels
the hell?
going out of here.
Go ahead and run it again.
Gobert comes in and
He's trying to put him to sleep.
Yeah, what the hell?
It's chill out.
Look, Gobert's almost about to pass out.
He headlocked Gobert there. So, yeah, they try to.
Okay, Rudy was trying to show the refs, look, my hands are in the air. I'm a victim here. I'm not. He was trying not to get in trouble. Gobert was joking after the game, saying that Draymond's chokehold was not hard enough to put him asleep. I'll tell you what, Draymond's a big, tough son of a bitch. So is Rudy Gobert. The other night, he and Wemby exchanged jerseys, because he's from France. Gobert, shirtless, standing next to Wemby, made Wemby look like a 4-year-old's body. Gobert is massive. Gobert's 7'1", and he's like a damn giant scarecrow. He's huge. Anyway, that's just typical Draymond Green, making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't think Gobert was trying to fight. Gobert was trying to break it up. And Draymond Green, being the loose cannon, the wicker that he is, all you need to do is light a match and he's ready to just blow everything up. One of these days, Draymond Green's going to kill somebody in a bar. Or there's going to be a road rage incident and he's going to take it too far. And he's going to pull a Suge Knight and run somebody over in the parking lot of a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles one day. Draymond Green is a hothead. Now, don't get me wrong, I love him. I guarantee you, if he's a Spur, he ain't putting up with this 40-point loss bullshit. But he takes it too far all the time. But it's that attitude that has made him the Hall of Fame player that he is. And a lot of y'all don't like Draymond Green, but I've always loved him. I'm not saying I want to party with him. I just want him on my team. And I'm sure I haven't seen anything he said post-game. I'm sure he'll, when the league suspends him, he's going to play the victim and open up his filthy sewer on his own podcast and lament how much trouble he always gets in. I'm always being targeted. He's kind of the Dominican Sue of the NBA, but I love him. They could use a little bit of Draymond Green on this current Spurs roster now, which hacks me off to no end. All right, show brought to you in part by San Antonio City Soccer. The official soccer club of our show is our boys up at San Antonio City. They are all over this town. But the location that we concentrate on as a show are the Spec Road locations up where we have our own field, Thunderdome Field, for one full year. That sign will sit there at that field up at that pitch off of Spec Road where they house San Antonio City Soccer Club. There's our sign there right over the field. We've attended a game there, and our team kicked butt that day 4-1, by the way. If you're interested in playing soccer, we have a league here that has ages 4 to 19, from early entry developmental leagues all the way up until high-tone traveling college age. It is the official soccer club of us, San Antonio City Soccer. All right, most of you don't watch this show live, so I won't give a time check, but it is time for this.
No one told me.
Did that myself. You like that? Oh, I always love the look on his face when I play stuff. My cousin's in here, Christopher Coggins. What's up, cuz? Draymond's lucky he was on that Warriors dynasty or nobody would have ever heard of him. Well, you can say that about a lot of guys, There's a lot of guys that benefited from playing on great teams. I mean, Draymond's great. He was great for that Warriors team, that's for sure. If Draymond's a New Orleans Pelican, yeah, I probably don't. I'm not, probably not extolling his wonderment, but he was on the Warriors and he was absolutely instrumental to that team. He's kept teams off Steph Curry's little butt for years.
That's really your cousin right there?
Chris, yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid name, Christopher Coggins.
Yeah, I know, it is.
It's not bad.
He rolls with Chris normally. All right. So obviously the weather's gotten better, but here this last week it was cold out. We had real cloudy, cold, rainy days. It's been soup weather. And I thought I'd bring this to you today because you're a soup man. LG will eat some soup on you on occasion. And so this was...
What are you trying to say?
You like soup? Don't do that to me. That's unfair to do that to me. Punch you for trying to make me a racist. You know how I support the Asian.
Do you think I like rice too?
What? Don't you have like a $400 rice cooker?
I do. It's
okay.
awesome.
Okay.
It's the Zajarushi.
I'm sure it's the new hotness in the rice cooking world. Oh, geez. Okay, so I'm stealing this, but I thought it would be interesting because I know how much you like soup. I like soup when we've had the weather we've had. Obviously, today it's beautiful, but this last 3 days has been awful. This is from something called Pollyanna Rocha. Her name is Pollyanna. About that.
Well, I thought it was a new form of sexuality.
That's polyamory. Polyamory.
Okay. Oh yeah. I thought it was like some new thing where you like roaches or something.
No, dude, that's her name, Pollyanna Rocha, like Zach Rocha, or
Oh,
like
I
Zach
got you.
De La Rocha,
Yeah,
the
Roca.
singer for Roca. Oh, maybe it's Roca, not Rocha. Up here on the north side, we say Rocha. So she decided she would list her favorite soups in town. And since
she's a foodie blogger. Or
yeah.
something. Okay.
So let's put her to the test then. She writes, "Can I be honest? I think about soup all year round. So when a cold front's due to blow through town, it's really my time to shine." She's bragging already. "There are endless possibilities when searching for a warm broth filled with fantastic fixings like noodles and seafood and hearty mixes of vegetables. With that in mind, I've taken it upon myself to come up with a pretty strong batch of local soups, stews, and broths that are perfect for the changing weather. Check out the following list to explore some of San Antonio's most promising soup offerings right now." All right, here's hers. Let's see if we've had any of these. I've not looked at this. So she's got it categorized, menudo and pozole. By the way, when was the last time you ate menudo, if ever?
I don't think I ever have, honestly.
So you're too busy eating that rice. When was the last time you had pozole? You probably had that. It's not as harsh as
I've
menudo.
had fideo, not pozole, though. I don't think I've ever had that either. No.
Tell me if you've eaten at any of these places. Las Cazuelas.
Nope.
Never even heard of it. Mi Sierra, Jalisco.
I mean, there's like 15,000 Jaliscos.
But this
in
one's called,
city.
but this is Mi Sierra. Mi Sierra.
Yeah, no clue.
She's going crazy about the pozole. I love pozole. I don't eat menudo. You know, that's poor man's soup.
That's Mexican or
I
is
have
that
a college
Italian?
degree. I don't eat menudo.
That's Mexican,
Yes,
then, I'm assuming.
yes,
okay.
dude.
It sounds like it's Italian.
Menu.
No, not menudo. I know menudo's Mexican.
No.
Pozole.
No, it's not pozole.
That's what
It's
it sounds
pozole.
like.
We're the show of note in San Antonio. I'm going to eat some pozole from Pataga da Sarada da Didi. All right. So that's her two favorite places to get pozole. I don't know where those places are. I'm sure that some hipster will let me know that it's done on St. Mary's. You're an idiot. Okay. Caldo. Now we're talking. Okay.
That's just generic.
It's not generic.
What, caldo? What kind of caldo? That's just the word for soup.
Well, she's going to give you the best
all
are.
right.
Taqueria Data Point. Okay, now we're talking. A place I've been dozens of times. And I've had the caldo. It's
I wouldn't think to order
tremendous.
soup from that place.
It's
All right.
tremendous. They use the body parts of murdered cartel members. That's the secret in the sauce.
Hey, life's a risk, carnal.
So when it comes to Taqueria Data Point, she writes, you can turn your head in any direction in San Antonio to find a taqueria serving adequate caldo de pollo. What I love about Taqueria Data Point is They put large portions of chicken right in the broth. They do, man. It's a massive ass meal. Whenever I eat it, I have to go sleep.
I mean, I can expect nothing less than a good bowl of caldo de pollo. It better have big ass pieces of pollo.
Now she says Rita's Fiesta Cafe. There's places in this town that I need to get to. Never heard of Rita's on
Rita's
Bandera
is good.
Road.
I've had Rita's,
okay,
yeah.
here we go.
Yeah. I haven't had the soup, but lunch specials are always
here
good.
we go. This is the soup you and I both have had recently. Now that we're on to the Fideo category. Guajillos. There you go. You and I have had that recently.
Fideo is free with every lunch special.
Hell yeah. It's awesome.
You can get Fideo or tortilla soup, and it's like traditional tortilla soup.
Here's a place I've never been that I say that every time I think about this place, I think I need to go there. I've never been to Pete's Taco House. Spelled
neither have I.
T-A-K-O, which is weird. She's raving about the Fideo at Pete's. Tortilla soup. I don't need a lot of tortilla soup. That's Tex-Mexy, you know?
Yeah. Well, the one at Guajillos is not Tex-Mexy. That's
really?
legit.
I haven't had that one.
Try it next time instead of the Fideo.
She's got El Mirasol, which I've been to many, many times.
That's over there off Vance Jackson?
There's a few now in town.
Okay.
Yeah. Las Palapas, which I've had many, many times.
Their soup is actually really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They
That's
have
the one
great soup.
thing they've been consistent with through the new ownership.
I'll tell you right now, and Palapas also has great caldo de pollo, too.
Well, yeah,
really
that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go, LG. Pho. Now we're into pho. He'll perk up here. And then get mad at me for being...
I'm not a huge fan of that, but
okay,
go ahead. Yeah.
Tell me, what's the difference? Oh, sorry. What's the difference between pho and... Why don't you like pho?
I mean, I do like it, but I'd rather have ramen.
Okay, so is it really pronounced pho, not pho? Because I've been saying pho all my life.
It's pronounced pho.
Well, then that's funny because her first listing is Pho Kim Long. There's the spelling. I'm not doing a bit.
Hold it up to that camera there.
Can you see where it says Pho Kim Long?
Oh, I forgot. I don't have autofocus anymore.
Why don't we have autofocus? I thought this was a high quality broadcast.
I rented out the lens, so you're using a vintage Canon FD lens from 1982 right now.
So that's where my camera went. You rented it out because you're hard up for money.
Yeah, I need money. Yeah, I got a car payment now.
Even my dumbass noticed today. That's an interesting look. That's a different looking camera. LG's like, that's because it's from 1982. Awesome. It's as old
and it
as
looks fucking amazing.
Goes back to when Uncle Rico, but you can't focus on where it says "fuck him long."
I can if I get up and go focus on it.
Oh, you have to do it with your hand.
Yes.
Oh. Pho Kim Long. Fuck him long. LG says it's pronounced pho.
It's pho. That's
Fuck
why
him long.
Yes, that's why they're doing that. Dude, if you look that up, all over the United States, they do a play on words with that.
I know, but I didn't really know it was pho. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's intentional. Yeah, the title. It's not like a dong where it's unfortunate.
That's really unfortunate. I've never been to a dong. I see it all the time. Have you been to fuck him long?
No, I haven't.
This almost part Vietnamese staple is a popular stop for a satisfying bowl of pho. Pho. With seemingly limitless combinations, you can find the exact style of soup for you at Pho Kim Long. That's the name, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, I know.
Genius.
Although
actually.
it depends on the time. If it's late, how about fuck him slow? Fuck him quick. Need sleep.
Well, it's all good. If it's late, we're good too, because that's safe harbor hours.
Then we got Pho Thien An. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation. Pho Thien An is a recent try for me, and it was oh so impressive. This low-key focused, pho-focused restaurant has all kinds
is she writing like that?
She's doing a bit too.
God.
Yeah, God almighty. It's on Rector. Fuck Kim is on Rector. All right, here's ramen.
Stick your cock up her ass.
What is the difference between pho and ramen? I don't even know what pho is.
Pho is Vietnamese and ramen is Japanese, and yeah, they're completely different.
Who knew? I'm kidding. I can make those jokes. I've got one of my best friends is an Asian man.
I'm glad you said Asian man.
Secret Asian man. Oh, wait, that's not the right lyrics, is it? Okay. Here's ramen.
Not at all.
Have you been to Heroes Ramen and Sushi?
I have, yes. On Bitters?
This one's on West Avenue.
Yeah. Bitters and West, yes.
Okay,
I've been
cool.
there.
You
Yes.
dig it?
It's okay.
Well,
Overpriced.
if LG don't say it's good, then it ain't. He would know.
They got a nice sake and beer scene there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some funny Asian terms. Pho, sake. There are.
Okay.
There's funny terms all over.
Yeah.
All right. Have you been to Nama Ramen?
I have not, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, she's all about it. It's on Babcock. Hot and sour soup. Who the fuck eats that?
That's actually not bad.
Really? Okay. She's got. See, I told you he's a soup man. He'd have a take on all these soups. Royal Inn. That sounds like a $20 an hour motel rather than a restaurant. The Royal Inn.
It's pretty good. I've been there too.
Also on Babcock. Sichuan House.
I haven't been there.
Chinese joint on Wurzbach. I've been there, but I've not had the soup.
Szechuan.
My bad. Sichuan. Do you like egg drop soup?
I do, yeah.
I can't eat it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's kind of
and
gross.
Just, and it's just like it's like I feel like I'm doing gay porn when I eat egg drop soup. You know, it's unfortunate. Not that there's anything wrong with being gay or porn, but I'm not gay, so I don't. It just has a texture that I don't think I like.
You're gonna ruin the egg drop soup for me now. God damn it,
Dude, it's like a bowl of. It's like a bowl of.
Yeah, I get it.
Like a bowl of. Came right out of a dong. If you had the egg drop soup at a dong, I'm sure it's amazing. La Chinitas. How about that? A Spanish take on a Chinese restaurant. La Chinitas.
Okay.
On Avondale.
Okay.
Golden Wok.
Oh, it's delicious.
Been there many times.
I haven't had the soup, but their dim sum is amazing on Sundays.
Get dim sum soup. All right. How about matzo ball soup? You like matzo ball?
I've never tried it. It doesn't sound appealing, but
no, that's white people soup. We're skipping right. Although they got Max and Louis in here. I like that dude, the guy that owns Max and Louis. I've met Louis. He's a cool dude. Gumbo, Bourbon Street Seafood Kitchen. Not been there.
It's not bad. It's okay.
Ma Harper's Creole Kitchen. I need to get into there, man. I've been wanting to go in there for a long ass time. We sucked. It's on the east side.
Oh.
Here's Korean soup. You know the difference between Korean soup and Vietnamese soup and all the other soups from your continent?
No, probably not. From my continent, I'd know the difference. But
Korea.
I'm not familiar with Korean soups.
Kim's Galbi. It's in a lighthouse. If you're looking for kimchi-loaded, spicy, hot Korean-style soups to warm you up on a cold day, this is where you need to go. Kim Galbi.
No thanks. I don't do kimchi at all. Gross.
Really?
Yeah.
I like kimchi. It's good for you.
It's disgusting.
It makes your balls bigger. Kimchi's good for your balls and ass. Look that up. It takes all those bacteria out of your lower gut, kimchi. So does cabbage.
So does kombucha.
And sauerkraut. Also,
yeah. Anything fermented. Yeah.
Correct. Ilsong Garden.
I haven't been there, but I've heard good things.
I've heard good things. Thai soup. Thai Bistro on De Zavala. I think I've been there. Haven't had the soup, though. Thai D.
I've been there. It's good.
Okay.
I haven't had the soup, but the curry's good.
Okay, cool. That's it. So what's your favorite soup in town, bro cheese?
If you want ramen,
Let's get a real soup eater from Asia in here.
Yokai is probably my favorite ramen spot.
Yokai. How do you spell that?
Yokai.
Oh, okay. That's what I was.
And it's right across from the Ringer on the corner of Thousand Oaks and Jones Maltsburg.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And they've got great soup?
Ramen. Yeah.
Oh,
they got
ramen.
Great
Yeah.
ramen.
You do dig the ramen.
Yeah. The tonkatsu ramen, the spicy. They call it Chikogi spicy ramen.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
You can get level 1 through 10.
Oh my God. Nina would get a 9.5. I can only get up to about 3.
I don't go. You have to pay extra, I think, after level 3.
Yikes.
So I stick with the 2. Probably.
Word up. All right.
It's good though.
That's a respectable list by Pollyanna there in mysa.com. And some of those I want to go try.
I guess. I mean,
based on her recommendation. I'm sure there's 150 others that are just as good as any of the list on there because we're a good eating town.
Earl Abel's used to have, I don't know because they've got new ownership now, but they used to have the best cream of chicken soup in the city.
Well, my cousin's back in here. My girlfriend had menudo twice this month. She's puro. Yeah.
I've heard it's like a hangover cure, menudo, but I think that's just from the water intake.
Yeah, it's just it's something. No, I don't hate menudo. I don't want to put guts in my mouth anymore. You know.
Yeah, that's why I'm not big on the pho with like tripe and tendons.
No,
I'll do the meatballs.
correct.
And
I'm just still
steak.
shocked that somebody would start a restaurant called Pho Kim Long. It's pretty amazing. That's better than Adong. They're just being goofy at Adong. You can get away with Pho Kim Long.
Yeah.
But Adong, come on, y'all.
It's got to be like a family name or something.
A, like his first name starts with an A? Sure. That dude knows what he's doing. It just occurred to me that my brother and my cousin and me are all with Mexican girls now. It took us a while, but we finally learned our lesson, didn't we, boys? The Taylor boys the Taylor/Coggins all eventually got it right. We're not racist. We eat Mexican all the time.
Chale.
Ruben's he said, I've eaten there before, and that is the name, Pho Kim Long. I keep a menu in my truck. It's so good. Okay. Some people are saying Royal Inn is awesome. Hell yeah. Royal Inn sounds like the motels off Mansfield Highway up in the metro section. No shit. $20 rentals for 1 hour because you're taking a crackhead in there.
Sounds like one of those old seedy motels that used to be on Austin Highway.
Pretty much. Okay, dude, there's no fucking bitch.
Although there needs to be.
If there's a Pho Kim Long, there should be a Pho Kim bitch.
Yes, Jeff, that is a lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. Why do you have a lightsaber on the table?
I just had it there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a prop that I made way back in the day before the prequels ever came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap this up, Foshizi, my favorite caldo in town is Taqueria Data Point. Well, this close second, Las Palapas. I do dig the Palapas caldo. I'm sure there's lots of others. And I'm sure y'all will let me know what they are.
I do Las Palapas. El Jalisco on Nacogdoches, right next to the Pep Boys. Nacogdoches and like...
Orale. Next to the Pep Boys.
Yeah, next to the Pep Boys. Across from the former Midnight Rodeo that burnt to the ground with all those homeless people inside. Mm-hmm. Yep. That place has good soup. Caldo de res and caldo de pollo.
I'm a pollo man. I like this, but I prefer pollo in my caldo.
I can make a mean Tex-Mex style tortilla soup too.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. How much was that rice cooker for real? I think I said it was $400. How much was it?
It was like $289.
Good Lord.
Yeah, a little too much, but
well,
I'll never have crusty or burnt rice ever again.
Never.
Nope. Also make steel cut oats.
Steel cut oats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That sounds healthy and not tasty, but make me some and I'll eat it. All right, so there's Taylor Trash for the day. Okay. This was funny. We had a lot of feedback yesterday. Thank you. With our Aggies discussion and the Jeff Traylor link to the Texas A&M job. I mean, the Jeff Traylor link. Is there really a link? Has A&M actually called Jeff Traylor's agent? I don't know. We just want to act like there is a link. There may not even be one. But I did find this interesting today. Of all the things that and I'm giving our paper a lot of love today. I'm a longtime subscriber. I read it every day. And I get on them when they need to be gotten on. But today they did a good job. The Express News editorial board has written about Jimbo Fisher, which struck me as odd that they would ever lower themselves as a newspaper and an editorial board to give an opinion piece on football, but at last they have. Editorial by the Express News editorial board, whoever these people are, the obscenity of Jimbo Fisher's $77 million golden parachute. They write, make no mistake, the $77 million that Texas A&M University will pay fired football coach Jimbo Fisher to go away isn't coming from public funds. The money will come from a combination of donations to the 12th Man Foundation and revenue from the school's athletic department. It's also important to acknowledge that neither Fisher nor Texas A&M created the absurd economics of this country's higher education system, in which it's considered normal and acceptable to pay elite coaches 70 or 80 times as much as a tenured professor. But there's no getting around the fact that the scale of Fisher's golden parachute is obscene. Even if the payout isn't being bankrolled by the taxpayers of Texas, it still amounts to an outrageous amount of money to pay someone not to do their job. That largesse from deep-pocketed Aggie alums could have gone to all kinds of worthy causes in this state. It could have helped food banks, contributed to funding for cancer research, aided our homeless populations, or paid for arts programs at chronically underfunded public schools. Instead, it's going to subsidize the idle time of a coach who already had been paid nearly $50 million during his 6 years at Texas A&M. Nearly as obscene as the scale of the buyout is the manipulation behind it. In May 2021, Texas A&M athletic director Ross Bjork publicly fretted that the university's athletic department faced a pandemic-induced $48 million shortfall and $17 million in expense reductions. 4 months later, Bjork gave Fisher a contract extension that guaranteed the coach would be raking in millions of dollars a year through 2031. Apparently, the athletic department's tight funding restrictions didn't extend to Fisher. Texas A&M has a history of throwing tons of money at big-name football coaches, and it's hard to blame Fisher for taking the money he was offered. But we all know it's wrong. Damn. I don't remember our paper's editorial board firing off a sports column. That was about as hot sports opinion as their lead columnist, Mike Fisher, Mike Finger ever gets. That was good. Nice work. Nice work to our Express News editorial board. The Aggies have for years defiantly defended Jimbo Fisher, Ross Bjork, the AD, and defiantly defended the contract. We're Texas A&M. And now we went from we're going to defiantly defend Jimbo, defiantly defend the contract, to now all of a sudden, now Jimbo, he's a 55-mile-an-hour car in the fast lane. Oh, okay. Now it's a no-brainer. Oh, well, Jimbo was holding us back. Oh, okay. He wasn't holding you back all these years until just now. Okay. The A&M Aggies have always had an us versus the world mentality. All of my Aggie buddies have the same. No one likes us. We're on an island all by ourselves. Never before has that ringed more true than today. If you're not a Texas A&M Aggie, if you don't have the pretty ring and the pretty degree, aren't you about tired of their act? I know I am. Absolutely, it's a tired act. And with the University of Texas, who I get on their ass to, with UT heading to big Southern John Plantation country next season, the Aggies better get their shit right real quick with the next hire, because the Longhorns are about to be right in their division again, which I can't wait for. It's going to be great, and it's going to intensify the rivalry 10 more decibels. But the A&M Aggies, I'm kind of tired of them. It's a tired act, and they better get this next coaching hire right. I've supported A&M for years. I've been a defender of A&M. I supported them when they decided to break apart and go to the SEC. I've rooted for them for years. 95% of the kids on their team are Texans. It says Texas on the shirt. I support them. But boy, they've made it hard recently. Get this hire right. You hire Jeff Traylor, and I'm going to go buy a shirt. But, this whole us versus the world mentality, for the first time ever, or maybe never more so, has it been correct. A&M, you all are out there by yourselves because everyone's tired of your shit. Just saying. All right, what else today? This thing brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass, the official auto glass repair company of this show. I still want to say radio show. This show, Mike Taylor Live on Love You Hard Television, TV.com/OK. Our channel, the official auto glass repair company of it is R&R, right there by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. If you've had glass damage in your vehicle, whether it's the side windows, the back windows, sunroofs, they fix those too, or your front windshield gets caved in or chipped or messed up somehow, go get it fixed quick at R&R right there by the airport. Mention me. Get yourself a Taylor Especial. All right. Whether you're a knuckle dragger or, You know, maybe you got an ugly-ass car that looks like a butt polyp. They don't care. If you got glass damage, they can fix that at least in your car, because no one should be riding around with busted windshields or anything like that. It looks dumb. Don't do it. It's goofy. All right? All right. Now we're getting all kinds of recommendations on restaurants, which I support. It is People I Want to Punch Wednesday, presented by the law office of Orlando Kell. Zoo Taylor's in here. Punch any damn Aggie disparaging the bona fides of Jeff Traylor. Them Ags need to mow their own grass. Right there with you. Mad at the Aggies right now. They hired Jeff Traylor, all is forgiven. I don't think they're going to. I don't think that they think that he is worthy of their job. We'll see how things shake down. Spurs, Texans, Astros. Punch Greg Popovich. He can take the time to lecture Republican senators from other states, but won't do his own job of coaching. Also, punch those who think just because he's a good coach, it means he's an expert at governing. Lots of politics, not a lot of winning. Hashtag no nonsense Timmy. Okay, well. I think I'm not going to sit up here and just throw Greg Popovich under the bus over 2 weeks' worth of shitty play. But I do need Pop to figure it out. I do want some nasty. You know, I need Pop to bust some heads here. I don't even know what that means. I don't know. I just need someone needs to get pissed off over there. Somebody needs to Draymond Green out there. Show me you give a shit. I don't mind losing. What are they, 3-8 now? I'm disappointed that they're 3-8. I was hoping they'd be at least 5-6. But it's fine. If you told me they're going to be 3-8, 11 games into the season, all right, I wouldn't have been stunned by that. But I am stunned by the lack of competitiveness. Never do I all these years covering the Spurs, I've never had to worry about, well, they're not going to show up tonight. They're not going to play hard. They're not going to compete for 48 minutes. These are things that I've never had to say before about the Spurs. And the fact that that's been the case the last week and a half pisses me off. So I think Pop's right for the pickings when it comes to some criticism. I'm assuming that he knows the answers. I assume that this thing will get righted up real quick. And I ain't even talking about getting wins. I'm talking about just being competitive. MJ Acquired Taste. Punch Greg Popovich, who is about to be 10 years older than Tom Landry was when that old man got the axe. He should have retired with a big 3. Now he's coaching like a 2-week expired carton of milk.
2 weeks.
Give me I want examples. Before I sit up here and criticize the greatest basketball coach of all time, you need to tell me why. He's not coaching the team right. Isn't he? I'm not picking on the X's and O's. I want to see him get pissed off and scream at some people because they're not competing. I don't think this is an X's and O's problem at all. Now, they don't have any damn point guards. They have an okay, solid little point guard named Trey Jones who didn't play the last 2 nights, and we've seen the results. It's not like he's Chris Paul, but they don't have any point guards. So when he don't play, they're fucked. Jeremy Sohan ain't it. So I'm not going to sit up here and tell Pop how to X's and O's his way back to competitiveness. But he's the leader of that group, and they're not out there competing. He needs to bust some chops. Maybe he is. I hope so. Chris Gonzo, 1985. Punch whoever came up with a science class curriculum in the UIL in this state. I tried to help my daughters with their homework last night. I am lost. Science sucks. I'm okay, Chris. Punch yourself for not knowing shit about science. PGA Dale W's in here. I need to punch the idiot and the moron who have called me 14 times a day the last week. The government, I'm talking about telemarketers. The government is not going to pay my bills, and I didn't win a damn cruise. Go blink a goat or a cow or whatever. Okay. I still get 2 or 3 telemarketing calls a day. I just hit decline every time. I still get calls from Russia and Greece on occasion, too, which I find weird. Aggie, 7295. Punch the turnover machine that is Jeremy Sohan. That's fair. You know, in defense of Jeremy Sohan, it is clear he should not be playing point guard. You know?
Do you know who's number 9 out of all players in the league in turnovers per game?
Probably Jeremy Sohan.
Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, Vic.
Yep.
Yeah, he turns the ball over. He's an easy pick. got a high dribble. You know, he's tall. Tex Latino, punch Greg Popovich. Get a damn point guard already. Jeez, I know, and we've seen enough to know that ain't working out. Maybe they are trying to figure it out. You can't just, we don't have any point guards, let's go get a new one today. There's 30 other league teams in the league or whatever there is. We're just getting started, and they're not ready to poo-poo on it just yet. Or even if they have decided that it's not going to work, you can't just fix it overnight. Whoever the next point guard is, it's going to be the next great point guard of the Spurs, clearly is not on the team.
Punch whoever was calling the game last night on TNT, by the way.
I had the volume down, and then when it got to a blowout, we changed it anyway.
He kept saying the Jeremy Sohan experience instead of experiment when he was referring. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It probably wasn't Kevin Harlan.
I don't remember who it was. Not Reggie, but whoever it was the play-by-play.
Mm-hmm. Hunter Meadows, punch all of the dads on youth football leagues who are convinced that their kid is the next GOAT of football. I mean, as long as we have youth sports, we're going to have shit like that because parents are always going to be a problem. Tom Kunanen, for today's bit, I want to punch Jeremy Sohan for committing too many turnovers. And again, my only defense of Jeremy Sohan is that's the Spurs that have asked him to play point guard. He didn't put himself at point guard. I'm not going to have Adolis Garcia pitch for the Rangers. I'm not going to have Dak Prescott kick field goals for the Cowboys.
Dak Prescott sucks.
It appears they have Jeremy Sohan way out of position, and he's not handling it very well at all. Matt's in here, punch Greg Popovich because of the piss-poor effort by this entire team. See, that's punchable for Greg Popovich. That shows a lack of discipline when you are non-competitive this many times over a 2-week period. Then Pop's fair game on those punches.
You play to win the game.
Not good, man. I got so wrapped up in last night's game, I haven't even looked to see when the hell the Spurs play next. Spurs. When do we play again? God, the Kings are in here Friday night. So they got a couple of days off. And a very talented Sacramento Kings will be in here on Friday night. The Spurs will be the underdog because the Kings are good. And I don't mind losing if you're going to go out swinging like a big dog. Put your wiener on the table. Give me 48 minutes of balls to the wall basketball, and if you lose a hard fart game, that's fine. But this non-competitiveness crap we've seen lately ain't going to cut it. That's crap. All right, that's it. We're done for the day. Tomorrow is Fart Drop Thursday. So thanks, everybody who was a part of this one. I appreciate all Thunderdomers, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or iHeart or Patreon or whatever it is you're watching us on or listening to us on. Thank you for everybody that jumped in here with the chat. Thank you for everybody that jumps into all of my scene. I love you hard. Thank you. Thank you to DJ LG. Back in here tomorrow live at 10 from this very studio. It's Mike Taylor Live. See you boys mañana.
Puppy!
See.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you. Thank you.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.